Hello, 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 everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's doing okay. We are back with another stream. This time, talking about obviously yesterday's result. Going forward, we've got a couple games to come this week. We've got a Europe game coming up next week. Games are going to be coming in thick and fast, but it's the members only stream, so members can join in and have their say. If you want to become a member, you can do so using the link in the bio or using the super chat section and becoming a member. You get to come on the stream, you get to give your say, you get to have a conversation with me. If you want to challenge me on anything that I have said, if you want to agree, disagree, whatever it is, you can do so. So yeah, this is your opportunity. This is an opportunity for the members to get involved. But listen, I'm here. And I don't know how I feel, in all honesty, about yesterday's result. I really, really don't know. I feel a bit mixed, if you ask me. Part of me feels positive. Part of me does feel a bit disheartened because we didn't go and get the 3 points. Big up everybody in the chat as well. Afzal says, big up, thank you very much. Like and subscribe. Yes, if you're enjoying the content, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. We're doing a lot of different sorts of content, obviously, that keeps coming up. Big up Magumula, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Big up as well. Woodward in the chat. Everyone drop a like and share. Big up, big up, big up, big up, everyone. Thank you very much for getting the likes up straight away. We are growing, man. Can you imagine? Like, went from 1K subscribers, boom, 5K done, and we already past 5.2K at this point. And we're going towards 6K, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll just keep growing. Big up Karis as well, joining through. Welcome Karis to the stream. We got to talk about a few players. We got to talk about one of the main people that we will be speaking about today is, of course, going to be Fred. Fred is going to be one of the big individuals that we're going to be speaking about. But Karis, start off with your thoughts. Really, what are your thoughts after yesterday's game?
First off, how are you doing today? How's everybody doing today?
I'm alive. I'm alive. I can't complain. Thank you
You're
for
not
asking.
sick anymore?
What was that? Sorry.
You're not sick anymore?
No, no, no. I'm feeling much better. I'm feeling much better. I'm not 100%, but I'm 90%. 90%. I'm there.
Okay,
Yeah, big up for asking.
that's
Love
good.
for asking.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I overslept first because like the game, like I'm in the United States, I'm in Chicago, so
Sure.
the game's at 8 a.m. So like I overslept by 20 minutes and I like I woke up and like it was already I was 20 minutes late, so I missed the first 20 minutes. I
Sure.
didn't want so I can't say anything about that. I don't know how the game started. I don't know how the team played during the
Okay.
first 20 minutes. So
Okay.
after that though, I mean, we looked there. I felt like it was like a basketball game, but like with no end quality for both teams. It was just back and forth. But like in the final third, both teams just couldn't get anything done. But like we had the ball for the most of the time at our final third, but we still couldn't get anything done as well. So it was just a frustrating game, and we should have won, but we just got to learn to move on. That's it. That's all we could do.
I think what you say is it makes perfect sense. We've got to learn to move on. We've got to learn to let these results go. We've got to learn to, but also what we have to learn is not from a game perspective, but in the training ground, we have to learn to finish. We can't finish. Marcus Rashford had a chance, couldn't finish. Fred had a chance, couldn't finish. Dallo, if you ask me, Dallo had a chance. He decided to pass. We need to learn to finish. We need to learn to attack the goal, to hit the ball towards the goal. It's a lot of like passing like this, just going back and forth on the outside of the edge of the box. And I don't get it. We
To be
pass the
like
ball in the edge of the box.
we haven't been like a good clinically like finishing team for a while now. It's been like a couple of years now. Like the last time I can remember was like probably during the pandemic, like COVID days. Like since then, like we really like we haven't been scoring that many goals even last year, and now it's starting to start this year as well. So like it's starting to become an issue.
The last
Yeah.
clinical performance was probably the 8-2, wasn't it?
The
Well,
which one? The 8-2.
Ages ago.
Yeah, the
mhm.
Roma game. that
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Europa. Yeah.
Welcome to Woodward in the chat as well. How you doing, Woodward? Hope you're doing well. We got Ed Woodward in the house.
Oh
Woodward, what
yeah.
are your thoughts from yesterday's game?
Honestly, I think that if Fred just had a foot on him, man, we could have had a goal. But because he doesn't, we need new. We need to refresh that midfield. I think again, unfortunately, we need Casemiro can stay. Casemiro put in good effort, but Fred needs to step back. Bruno needs to step back for a little while and just take a break, man. Like we need different players in there. And even up front, I mean, Ronaldo was a bit unlucky. Sancho was a bit unlucky, but like we need something else. We need to refresh our team overall, I think.
Ganso, welcome to the stream as well. Big up to yourself. How you doing? Talk to me. How you feeling after yesterday's performance? We didn't lose the game. We didn't win the game. We looked convincing. We looked like we were controlling the game. If you ask me, in all honesty, I saw similar things around the Omonia game where we're trying to suffocate them, where we are trying to get up the ball in the right spots, where we're trying to create a chance. I saw a very similar Omonia-esque performance. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but give me your thoughts.
I agree to a degree. I think we did try to suffocate them, but I just think something is wrong in that team for me. Like I can't pinpoint what, but Ammonia, we just only score one goal against them in the last and extra time, and then this game we do essentially nothing the entire game. Fred misses a chance, Rashford misses a chance. Delo should have just gone through instead of passing. Like something is majorly wrong in this team for me, and I can't really
Yeah, I
pinpoint
agree.
what.
I agree.
I don't know like
Yeah,
what it
sorry,
is for
sorry,
me.
yeah.
Go, you go on.
Yeah, because like even if Ole was here, like if we played Omonia when Ole was here, we would beat them 5-0, 4-0, whatever. But like something with like Ten Hag's system right now is not like he's like missing a piece in that attacking area. Like I don't know what it is, but he needs to find that out. Like even with Ole, like we're probably at least we're scoring with Ole against these like small teams. Like I don't know, something's not ticking right
Yeah,
now.
but that's very easy to say because during all his time as well, he just basically played counter-attacking football. He he would keep the same players, he would never change players, and he would just simply try and counter teams down. And you could say Ole could have won that game, but Ole also cost a lot of the games. For example, Liverpool game that we beat Liverpool, Ole would have lost it because Ole did lose it.
Yeah.
Arsenal game as well. But this is we can't keep going and saying, oh, because it wasn't Ole here, Ten Hag. The fundamental is Ten Hag is missing Martial. The fundamental is he missed Ericsson. And this is the difference
Oh
between
yeah.
having a squad to having a starting 11. When you have a starting 11, you have your best 11 players that can go and win you a game, etc.,
Even
that
with
can do your
Ericsson,
job if they're fit.
he's been
But if you
struggling.
have a squad, you can go and win trophies. Squads win you trophies. Starting 11 cannot win you a game. But this is the reason why Real Madrid ended up beating Man City in the Champions League final because they had players off the bench that could solve problems, and we don't.
Oh, on that, what I was gonna add is I think maybe I don't want to speak for everyone, but for me personally, when we went on that 4 game winning streak and it was like Liverpool or shit, Chelsea new manager, I was thinking maybe we could get top four. But I think for me, I have to look back to what I was thinking before the season started. And before the season started, I was like, as long as we see progression in terms of play style, etc., I don't really care what happens. It's kind of a write off. And I think I'm going back to that prediction because you're right. I look at our starting 11, no depth for Ericsson, no depth for Delo. Martial's our only real striker, if we're being honest. Varane's out. We're back to Lindelof and Maguire. Like we have no depth in key positions in this team, and I'm just like at this point, I'm just like I think we're the sixth best team in the league, and I think it would be a good achievement to finish sixth. Like I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at personally.
Sure. Welcome to Space Kid as well in the stream. How you doing, Yuma? Hope you're doing well. Talk to me. How you feeling after yesterday's game? And obviously, I'm guessing you've heard some of the points made already.
Yeah. Actually, I'm waking up and I'm feeling very good. The sun is bright. The birds are chirping. I'm upbeat. I'm happy. I'm not happy obviously with the result, but guys, the performances are getting more and more consistent. Forget all the results. Like we weren't worried about Champions League coming into this season. I mean, some of us were. I really wasn't. Main goal for this season was consistency and identity. We are starting to get that. Craig Pawson, we see you. It's okay. I'm not gonna say any bad names about you. 2 + 2
No,
equals
no,
4.
no. Yuma, you all know me. I do not like talking about refs.
Yeah,
Manchester United should be killing games off.
yeah.
That should be the level that we should be. By God, yesterday, man, they need to do an investigation on this guy.
Hey,
That was horrendous. He even winked at a fan as he went to the tunnel.
you and I saw that
I've
video.
seen the video on Twitter. Yeah,
My thing about it is like it wasn't even the Ronaldo one that got me. It was the Sancho one. I think that was much more clear. And the fact that him and the VAR assistant referees, by the way, guys, we need to start making sure, forget the main referee. We need to start making sure we know who the VAR referees are so we can also give them as much smoke. Because the referee is one thing, the VAR referee, after with all the technology and resources to be able to see the thing again, is even much more damning than Craig Paulson himself. With that
If
being
you
said,
if you if you if you if you look back at the situation where Ronaldo scored that goal, technically that should stand, no, Yuma?
yeah, I heard a whistle. Unless I'm, do they allow whistles in OT?
right. But when you play the ball and you play it backwards, that is the beginning of the phase of play. Whether the goalie touches it or not, like it's questionable.
We
God,
also we also got to blame the Glazers on this one for not putting up fucking screens so that way the fans can watch the replay and probably get more emotion, like, and change the ref's mind. But no,
and that's a fair point. And look at all these
I'm
talking
really
points that
sorry.
we
I gotta
have.
just Yuma, just before you make that point,
Okay,
the fan sat on my left yesterday, first game in Old Trafford. I swear to God, I'm not lying. He said, where's the screen to watch it back? I said, what do you mean screen? Say, where's the screen? Like to watch the foul back. I said, oh, we don't have a screen. And he's a Man United fan. He didn't know. There you go. Yuma, go on.
look, I just want to. I know we have a lot of different talking points to talk about, especially with yesterday's game. But I want us to all come back to the main point of the fact that the season is all about consistency, is all about identity. No matter what happens, no matter how it happens, no one that's a United fan, or at least in this panel, can say that they are not at least encouraged by the patterns of play that we're now starting to display on a game-to-game basis. Yes, Bruno may be dispossessed of the ball because he tries something. Yes, Fred may not have his shooting boots on. Yes, Dalot doesn't pull the trigger when he's on gun. He has someone on gun sight. Yes, my number 10 cannot head. That's his weakest ability. Cannot hit the ball. Despite all that, yes, Ten Hag may should have probably put a substitution in earlier. Despite all that, guys, despite playing on Thursday, we are still creating numerous of chances. And that for me is the most encouraging thing because I now know that when we get the striker that we need, when we get the midfielder that we need, when we get a backup right back, XYZ, things is gonna start clicking like this. That Newcastle team is not a joke, bro. That is probably
well, they're a nasty team.
that's our fourth hardest game. Besides the, I'll even say not bump all that. I'd say that they were harder than Liverpool
Yeah,
in the sense that we already knew what we had to do for Liverpool on the back of 2 games. This Newcastle team were coming for blood each and every single time they had the ball. And the fact that we had the composure, we had the poise, we had the nous to still be able to beat their press sometimes, still be able to foul them when we needed a foul. I just like the overall performance, everything but the result and the referee. And that's why I'm a happy fan. And I'm actually looking forward to Wednesday. Bring all the spuds.
Yeah, because you
Let's
see
talk.
patterns of play, you see the triangles they're building out from the back, and those are the positives and things that Ten Hag wants to bring to this team's game. And if they're doing it, resisting the press, going forward on the ball, creating more opportunities for the striker, all positive things, without a doubt.
I think there is definitely positives to see, 100%. It's just upsetting when you know you are this close to grabbing the 3 points. That's my upsetting thing. As weird as it sounds, I wouldn't have minded a draw if Newcastle were doing some dominating things in that game, but they didn't. They really didn't. They were fully happy not to play football. They were fully happy to let us do all the hard work. Fully happy. And that is where my problem is. Because when you go and look at the overall, for example, right, these are some of the stats from yesterday's game. The overall ball possession, 63% to Man United and 37% to Newcastle. If you go and look at our dangerous attacks, Manchester United, nearly 60 dangerous attacks. Newcastle, 30. So double the dangerous attacks we had. Passes, 400 plus for Manchester United, 200 for Newcastle. We played a lot more football than they did. And of course, we're playing home. We have the better squad, etc., etc. But if you look at now with those stats, you think, okay, Man United dominating the game. Well, actually, go and look at this. Goal attempts. In all that difference, Man United, 15 goal attempts. Newcastle, nearly 10 goal attempts. Man United, 15 goal attempts out of 63% possession. And Newcastle only 5 goal attempts behind. So they clearly made a lot more dangerous attempts compared to us, even though we had more of the ball. On top of that, shots on goal. Shots on goal. Manchester United 2, Newcastle 2. That bit of stat is very, 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 very concerning. Like, I can't emphasize to you how concerning that is to me. How are you telling me a team has had 63% possession, has outpassed you to like double the amount, and on top of that has had more dangerous attacks, double the amount, and yet you've created the same shots on goal as the other team? Two shots on goal. There's no threat. Man United, when managers are sitting with their assistant managers and coaching staff and are looking at Man United statistics, they're going to say, well, you know what? They have a lot of bark, but no bite. There's no bite in the end. There's no finishing in the end. There's no clinical players in the end. There's no threat from outside the box in the end. There's no aerial threat in the end. Positives are there. I am not saying that they're not, but we must also look. This is clearly in front of us. We have outperformed Newcastle double the amount, but we've only had 2 shots on target and Newcastle 2. Make that make sense. I'll go to you, Karis. What do you think of those numbers?
Yeah, they're really bad. And like also like we're putting all these crosses in, but like none of our attackers have like the heading ability. Like Rashford can't head. Anthony's not a good head. Like Sancho, I don't even see him in the box. Like honestly, like I don't even know where he's at when the crosses are put in. Because he should be on the end of those where Fred is, like sometimes. He and Bruno should be there, but it's always Fred for some reason. And yeah, we need to be hitting more shots on target though. We need to be testing the keeper. Like just like shooting blanks from 30 yards is not gonna help anybody. So
Sure.
yeah.
Right. Let's go to you, Woodward. What did you think of those stats? What are you thinking?
It's poor overall. It shows that we can't break down the team the way we should actually be breaking down the team based on our possession stats, based on the overall gameplay. I mean, yesterday's game, for me, I think it was just a bit lackluster. We missed the edge. We had the blade, but we didn't have an edge on it, and we couldn't carve through their team the right way.
I'll come to you, Ganso, first, then I'll come to you, Yuma. Ganso, talk to me. What are you thinking?
There's a few players I'm looking. I don't think we can break down low blocks, and I'm looking at Bruno. What is Bruno doing? He's supposed to be this insane creator. What is Bruno doing in these games? people roll off, oh, he's created this many chances, blah, blah, blah. I watch the game. I don't see him doing that much, if I'm being honest. I look at Anthony and Sancho, our wingers. What are they doing? They're supposed to be creative. They're not inside forwards like Salah. They're creative wingers. What are they doing? I don't see them doing anything. Anthony's like forcing these passes to Ronaldo to try to like force this combination or something. No one's doing anything. I'm looking at Ronaldo. We miss Martial against slow blocks badly. I don't think Ronaldo can do that. I look at our fullbacks. Why are they not overlapping? Why can't no one in our team put a good cross in the box besides maybe Ericsson? Also, we miss Ericsson badly. If we want to do anything against low blocks, I think Ericsson is our most important player personally.
I wanna bring something to everyone's attention. Make sure if you're watching and if you're enjoying the stream, do drop a like on the video. That would be highly, highly appreciated. So thank you very much for everyone watching. Yuma, I'll come to you with this, and I'm going to bring you the Omonia game and the Newcastle game stats as well. Now, in the Omonia game specifically, right, we
Mhm.
clearly dominated the game so much. I'm not going to come to the Everton game. I'm not going to come to the previous Omonia game, the City game, or whatever, all the games before. I'm gonna try and avoid all those, but I'm gonna try and concentrate on the games where we won by one goal, just by one goal. If you go and look at our Leicester game, 1-0, Omonia game, 1-0, Newcastle game, 0-0, right? Now consider this. In the games that we won 1-0, we've had just slightly more possession apart from the Omonia game where we absolutely had the most amount of possession, right?
Mhm.
The Omonia game, we had 70% plus possession. We won the game by 1-0. We had 34 goal attempts. We won the game by 1-0 in that game. We had 12 shots on goal. We had how many corner? We had 13 corner kicks. We had 8 free kicks. And the keeper made 11 saves, majority saves. We passed the ball against the Omonia team 700 plus times. If you want to be precise, it was more than 750 passes in the Omonia game. Dangerous attacks. Manchester United against Omonia had 98 dangerous attacks. 98 dangerous attacks. We won the game 1-0. Just one goal. So out of nearly 100 dangerous attacks, 100, we had one goal. Now I'm going to rewind a bit further and go to the Leicester game. In the Leicester game, we had 54% possession. We had 10 goal attempts. Leicester had 9. So almost similar. Leicester and ourselves had the same shots on target, 2 shots on goal, two shots on goal. That's it. We had 17 free kicks. We had, how many corners did we have? We have 1 corner kick, just 1. We had 10 less dangerous attacks than no, we had 10 more dangerous attacks than Leicester. We had 50 dangerous attacks and Leicester had 40. I got the possession wrong. We had 46% possession and Leicester had 54%. We had 10 more dangerous attacks, but we only won the game 1-0 yet again. And when you go and look at the total passing, Leicester outpassed us. Leicester outpassed us when it comes to completed passing as well, but we ended up winning that game 1-0. But then you come fast forward a bit to the Omonia game where we clearly played better football. You fast forward a bit more, Everton game where we passed the ball a lot better. So you see the pattern of us improving when it comes to passing, right? This is what I'm trying to achieve with these stats. Leicester game, you look at that. You look at the Everton game, Omonia game, and now the Newcastle game, games that have been really close where the game could have gone either way. Now that we're passing better, why are we not able to be clinical in front of goal? Especially yesterday. Especially yesterday.
To be fair, we have not been clinical on goal since the first game. If you want to be even more clear, since Liverpool, since we scored our first goal, the game ended 2-1, and it should have ended much more than that. So it's not about these last 3 or 4 games in terms of your sample sizes, in terms of our passing percentage and improvements. It's more so about the lack of clinicalness due to various reasons, whether Martial has been injured, beginning of preseason, or whether CR7 has not been fit, or whether it's been my number 10 and Marcus Rashford, who doesn't play. His natural position is not a number 9, whether it's Mason Greenwood going on with his on-court court case. All these things are attributing to our lack of clinicalness. All these things, believe it or not. And to make it even worse, it's our final. We already make bad decisions. I brought this up in a group chat and Twitter that, our two captains and Bruno Fernandes and Harry Maguire, guess what? They make terrible decisions. Guess what? There are two major captains. And I really do think that permeates through the squad in terms of our decision making. Yes, our passing has improved, but it has not improved in the final third. Not our passing, but I mean our decision making in the final third. Sorry. You just alluded to Diego Dalot shifting the defender and literally having the best angle to hit the shot off his best foot. Everything aligned to him perfectly. Diego Dalot, you have to shoot that. I see you doing in Portugal. You just didn't. Matter of fact, in Portugal, you just scored. I just saw you. You did it. Why are you not doing it over in Manchester United? And I just think that, it's just those two things: lack of clinicalness and bad decision making in the final third. Anthony, you're coming on the right hand side. Yes, you see R7 making a break towards the goal, but you see Bruno pressing breaks so he could create some space for himself and his defenders so he could shoot. You decide to pass it to Anthony. Bad decision making. Fred, all your shots are bad decision making. Marcus Rashford, you see the header. Casemiro, by the way. Casemiro deserves an assist or a goal. It's long overdue. I don't know if you guys have seen what he's been doing for this team. He deserves a goal or assist. But anyway, Marcus Rashford, you see the perfect header. Perfect alignment, perfect pace, everything. Goalkeeper, his legs is not set. Bad decision. You hit the far corner instead of hitting the bottom of the net. It's things like that are frustrating me, and this is why all he used to say fine margins. These are the fine margins that he always used to allude to. And I just think that once we are able to get coached up a little bit better, and as you see, we'll get more clinical. Trust me, because this is the same team that scored 100 goals under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Okay, I've seen this team score goals. I'm not worried about the goal scoring. What I'm worried about is the decision making. So once the decision making improves a bit better, trust me, the goals will come, and it will be all happy days.
Let's go to Ronald as well. Welcome Ronald to the stream. Big up for joining. Got a super chat from Aminur as well. Big up Aminur for the super chat. Says, Faz, can we talk about Bruno not turning up? I mean, I'm looking at Bruno's numbers in terms of games, and if you go and look at how many games this guy is been playing, this guy's played 90 minutes against Newcastle, 90 minutes against Omonia, 90 minutes against Everton, 60 minutes against Omonia, 90 minutes against City, 90 minutes against Sheriff, 45 against Sociedad, 90 against Arsenal. A hell of a lot of 90 minutes going on in there. A hell of a lot. He needs to be able to solve problems. It's not a hard thing to ask. Why are other midfielders? Odegaard is able to do it and Bruno cannot. What threat is Bruno possessing? The passing is not there. He needs Martial. And this is why it all relates back to Martial. You say, well, if Martial was in the squad, Martial would have got everybody performing. He would have got Bruno performing, Sancho performing, Rashford performing. Everything is based on one player. And this is my big problem with him. Why is it? Why is everything based on one player? Why is Eriksen off the team and we crumble? Why? Why cannot we be like, oh, Varane is not here. Lindelof can cover for a few games. And good. Malasia's not doing that well. Luke Shaw can cover for a few days. Good. But with Bruno, we ain't got no replacement. Van der Beek is missing. What are your thoughts on that, Ronald?
Big up Faz and everyone everyone who's here on the panel. Big up everyone. So, Faz, I want to first disagree with you on the initial point you made when I joined in, because you were talking about passes, right? How many passes you said we made last game?
We made double
about
the amount
700
of
some stat, right?
Against Newcastle. Let me bring it up.
Yeah.
against Newcastle, our total passes were 512, and total passes of Newcastle were 300. Completed passes were 413, and Newcastle's was 214.
Right. However, you have to kind of understand that Newcastle was just throwing the ball up front, right? Whenever
Okay.
it's in defense, they're just going to go ahead and push the ball outright and, pray to Jesus someone gets it and someone scores. United, how on the other hand, was just playing sideways passes. It was not passes going into the final third. Even for Anthony getting the ball, he made a cross. Ronaldo couldn't jump. It was way above his height. They just apologize to each other. They move on. But most or the majority of the game is Fred getting the ball rather than looking ahead for maybe a pass going back to the winger. He's just looking for the person right next to him as a sideward pass. He might actually have a 100% pass ratio from last game, but it's all sideways passing. There was nothing that he did that I would say that, that surprised me. It's just a normal Fred. Fred the passer who
Mm.
did nothing but just missed on opportunities. If Ericsson had those, we might have maybe got one goal or two goals. Because somehow Fred ended up in all the positions which were clinical and important for us. Even the open goal, how did you miss that open goal? I mean, you can say Martial missed it, but Martial was under a lot of pressure. What
You
was Fred?
can't
He did
justify.
not go with he did not go with his right leg, but just want to have that Hollywood goal and opened up his body on the left side to take the shot on the left. He could have
You
made the
can't.
easier thing to do, and which was to go ahead and just shoot, but he did not.
I
And
mean,
people
there's the
are criticizing
conversation, but
Ronaldo.
there's the conversation that Rashford could have carried on and maybe taken the ball a bit more forward because he was through on goal. He beat the keeper, but then his angle and his positioning of his body was not in the correct, way. But there's a conversation that Rashford almost rushed it a bit and gave it to Fred rather than carrying the ball from outside the box, almost inside the box, and then just maybe even slotting it himself or then finding Fred, but he passed it to Fred straight away. Fred, I feel like almost didn't expect the pass. I don't even think Fred expected the pass. And obviously Newcastle players being physical just put him off balance a bit or whatever, and he decided to go with his stronger foot, which worked out in the totally wrong decision. But there is a conversation that Rashford could have taken it forward.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I am hearing from yesterday, and this kind of saddens me. But then a lot of people are saying that Ronaldo had a bad game. Ronaldo did not have the service at all to have a good game. He is the only one who actually drops in,
I
just like
okay.
Martial. He drops in like Martial, creates a simple pass, and now obviously at the age of 37, you can't expect him to be back in the position in the 6 yard box, which Martial does beautifully, and I do appreciate him for that. Hence, I have been always saying that I hate Martial FC, yet I want Martial back because Martial is a clinical player and I love him for that. However, his fitness is what just beats everything else.
But what about this super chat on Bruno not turning up? I mean, Bruno's had a lot of 90 minutes to play. He's played a lot of different games. And he needs to play a very crucial role in Manchester United to go and be a threat. A real number 10, a real solid number 10 can be a threat off the ball, can be a threat in the air, can be a threat in free kicks, can be a threat long shot outside the box, can be a threat in the box, can be good at defending. In a modern day 10, you're also supposed to or expected to be able to play an 8 as well. If you look at Kevin De Bruyne, this is why he's one of the best players in the world. The guy can play a 10, 8, 6, no problem, flawlessly. Look at Gundogan, guy can play a 10, guy can play an 8 and a 6 flawlessly. Look at Rodri, can play a 6 and an 8 flawlessly. No problem. There's no shift in performance. Bruno, I just don't get it. It's not working. He's no threat. He didn't do Hollywood passes yesterday. He didn't mess up, but he didn't also be able to find me a spark. You're supposed to find a spark. That's the position you're playing in. You're supposed to find and break lines. You're supposed to find forwards, but it doesn't work. I don't get it.
I mean, I hear this a lot, Faz, when people are saying that when Bruno or when Ronaldo plays, People like Bruno, Anthony, at times Rashford as well, they get a tunnel vision wherein they're just focusing on Ronaldo. That's not true. And Bruno, at a point when he was doing well, when he came into the first season, he had Pogba along with him, who was doing a decent job at that time. I wouldn't say Pogba was the best player we had, or he unlocked him, but Pogba was that support that he's looking for. And Ericsson is that support. However, Ericsson is so deep trying to cover McTominay and the defenders that he's not able to do that pass either.
Let me come on to Red Baron super chat as well, and I'll keep it an open floor. So if you wanna join in on the conversation, any of you can do. Big up to everyone obviously joined so far, and the other members who are in the chat as well. If you want to come up and speak, you can become a member using the link in the bio or using the super chat section, and put your questions or become a member. Red Baron says, sideways passing isn't necessarily bad. It's needed to open up the opposition, which is very true and correct. He says, we shouldn't be too mad at the results slowly getting better. Big up Red Baron for the super chat and the contribution. And it's a fair point. If you ask me, sideways passing isn't bad. It isn't. But sideways passing is also the thing that we crucified Maguire and Lindelof, Maguire and all the other centre backs for. We said, well, to me, to you, to me, to you, to me, to you. There will come a point when, yes, we understand that this is getting better because we are playing better football, but there will be a point where people will start getting frustrated if we're constantly passing sideways and outside the edge of the box, but we're not doing anything. Because teams will be happy. A Real Sociedad will be perfectly happy with that. They ain't got no problem. If you look at our formation when we're pressing against the City game, 4-2-4. If you look at our formation yesterday when we were passing around Newcastle, it was like one person at the halfway line and two people in around like the between the box and the halfway line, and you have like 5 or 6 forwards at the edge of the box. 5 or 6 forwards at the edge of the box. Some of them are inside, some of them are outside. There's a hell of a lot of players in the opposition's half. A hell of a lot. And we're still not able to break them down. We're not able to move quick enough. We're not able to go in and out of the box, swap players, make a off the ball run where someone clips it in, someone slides the ball through. We're not finding it. And this is where the end product has to come. You can do all of this, which is good, and I'm patient with it. I am going to continue to be patient with it, but I am just saying to you all now, at one point, all of your patience is going to run out. Because if you ask, oh, do we take a point against Spurs? If you offer me a point against Spurs, I would say, you know what? Yeah, sure. Point against Chelsea, yeah, sure. But a point against Newcastle, no. I wanted to win this game. I wanted us to beat this game. I'm going to check the poll as well. People are saying, can we beat Spurs? And this is my thing. And you guys can join in the panel. You guys can join in as well. When I asked people about the Omonia game, people said 5-0, 6-0. We will beat them 4-1. No problem. What happened against the Sheriff game? We will beat them 4-0, 5-0. We will beat them 6-2 or 5-1. No, guess what happened? Newcastle game. We will beat them 3-1. We will beat them 4-2. Plenty of goals coming. But Man United fans are not realizing we don't score goals. We don't score goals. It's a super sub situation where a super sub comes in and finds the solution. I mean, when was the last time Man United fans sat here and said Scott McTominay is needed? When was the last time? I don't remember anybody. Yuma, I don't think you ever said it. I don't think Carrie said it. I don't think people actually went back and said, you know what? Scott McTominay is needed when we were actually Scott McTominay out last season. But look now, this is where the club has come to. Let's go to the other super chat from Red Baron as well. Big Up says, it's better to be frustrated than deflated. Very fair comment. It is. It is better to be frustrated than deflated because we didn't lose the game. We didn't give the game away. I wouldn't say people made ridiculous, mad mistakes. I wouldn't even say that. So yeah, that's fair. I was deflated under Ole, sure. Frustrated under Ten Hag, sure. But that we're not scoring. We will get there. Don't worry. I hope we do. I hope we do. I hope we do because we need to. If you look at the Premier League table now, yesterday was our chance, in essence, to go and solidify a bit conversation in that top 4. And the crazy, I don't put pressure on the top four, but I do because I don't want Europa games, man. I don't. I want to be in and around that top four conversation. If you go and look at Arsenal, City, Tottenham, three teams in the top four, yeah, out of the four teams, three of them, 27 points, 23 points, 23 points, all in the conversation. Chelsea, 19, us 16. Big drop in points. 4 points drop to Chelsea, and then another 3 point drop to us. And this is how the league starts shaping up. Part of which I wanted to have the conversation today is once you create that gap and it starts pulling away, at that point it will just go like this, and the gap gets too much and you can't reach it. And on top of that, we are fifth right now. And this please understand my concern. We are fifth. Newcastle, Brighton, Liverpool, Brentford, Bournemouth, Fulham are competing for our position. I repeat, we are fifth. Newcastle, Brighton, Liverpool, Brentford, and Bournemouth and Fulham are competing for our position, fifth. So look at this. Am I being overboard here?
I,
Do you want to come in?
yeah, I think so because I think that I think we've had the hardest schedule out of the top six sides. And with the Queen passing, it didn't make anything better. Yes, we had time to rest, but remember, after the Arsenal game, Queen passes, we get straight inserted into Man City. After Man City, we then get Everton, then we get Newcastle, then we're getting Chelsea or Tottenham, then we're getting Chelsea. So to be fair, we've had the hardest schedule out of the top six sides. I don't even think Chelsea. Who has Chelsea played in the top six sides?
Spurs.
That's it. That's it. So you're saying 3 points, and I'm saying, cool, let them have those 3 points. We will pass them eventually. Yes, let them continue playing these easy teams. Because I'm realizing that we've played almost everyone. Like literally, after Chelsea, after Tottenham, we played all the top six sides. So I think that people should also relax. The season is still this is still the first part. We're still in phase one of the season. Points will the table will shaken out itself. And I think with the improvements that we're doing, we should be in and about 4 to 6. Obviously, like you stated eloquently, that we have Newcastle, Brighton, and obviously Liverpool behind us. But to be fair, coming into the season, what did you say our placement was going to be? Around that 4 to 5 to 6 spot. So, Faz, I'm here to be your therapist.
I'll be honest with you. You make a very fair point. I have absolutely no way to challenge you on that because when I go and look at
I do.
Chelsea's games, um, they lost against Southampton. Cool, but we'll forget that because that was a different a person in charge or whatever. You look at they only played since then. West Ham 12th, Crystal Palace 13th, Wolves 17th, Aston Villa 16th. So all of the teams below top 10. The next game is the one they only playing a team that's above in the top 10 is Brentford, who are ninth. You look at us though, we played Chelsea. No, sorry. Who did we play? We played Leicester. My bad. We played Leicester. We played Arsenal, who are obviously top of the league. We played City. We played Everton. We played Newcastle. So we've had some heavy games, and obviously we had Liverpool just before that as well. We had some heavy teams to deal with already: City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. Now we have heavy teams to deal with back to back again. We've got Tottenham and Chelsea back to back in the space of 3 days. So these are very fair point. Very fair point. And if you ask me, we are still fifth and game in hand. I feel a bit reassured by you. I can't
That's
lie. I do.
all I'm
I
saying.
do.
I understand we're in the prem, we're in the whirlwind, the eye of the storm per se. But when I really deep it, bro, this is our first year manager with all these big games. Obviously, he's still in Europe, and we're still managing. We've won how many? We've won 2 big games. Hey, I'm taking this as a process. Again, I know we don't like to hear that word, but hey,
Mm.
there's the reality of it. We are in a process. So far with this process, with this manager, with this team, with this regime, so far, if I have to give a letter grade, oof, I'm gonna give a B.
Look, if we go and beat Spurs and Chelsea, I will be very very happy, man. We
Monday
are
morning.
already dealt with Arsenal, dealt with Liverpool, City dealt with us, sure, no problem. If we can deal with Spurs and Chelsea, boy oh boys, is that really good for us? We've already gone and put a stamp on the big six teams. If we can do that, that speaks volumes for the squad. That speaks volumes for the manager. But again, someone made a comment is we need to be able to deal with small teams. I think Footy Gangster is the one that says this is the problem. We don't know how to play against smaller teams. We can beat Liverpool today, but then Leeds will smash us. So there's no consistency in terms of being able to deal with the big team, and the probability of us beating a small team should be high, but that's not the case.
Faz,
So
I
I
would
get
like to
what he's
disagree with that comment right there
sure,
because
sure, go on.
we have smashed Leeds in the past as well. It's just any team who kind of knows how to attack us or just thinks that they're going to come in here and attack us, they are the ones you're going to hurt because of how good we are at counter attack. And for the last 3 years, we were under Ole, Ralph Ranić, and everyone else. We were just a counter attacking team. It's the little ones who want to sit at the back and be compact and don't let us have any space, and we have nothing to do with them. Also, to what the other brother was saying, Yuma, in the
Mhm.
past, this whole season, Faz, correct me if I'm wrong, teams like Brighton, Brentford, Southampton, Leicester, Real Sociedad, Sheriff, Omonia, I'm sorry if I say that incorrect, Everton, and even Newcastle, all of these teams combined are combined of the smaller ones or the mid-table ones, not the big ones. But I haven't been confident with my chest that we are going to go in and beat them. It's always maybe or maybe not. So there's confidence that we lack because we know these other teams, which are the little ones, because they want to go ahead and prove that they are a big team, they can go ahead and give you an off day and make an imbalance for you. That is why I want us to focus on the Europa League and win it because that gives us a straight chance of going in Champions League and at the same time have our respect in place because top six, top six is difficult to get this season. It's not even top four anymore. It's top
Hmm,
six.
hmm,
So wait, I just want to just quickly just rebuttal on that. So I think the reason why we've struggled recently in the past, especially with Ollie and Jose as our manager, is because we've had the counterattack mindset that we're gonna sit back, we're gonna force them, or we're gonna let them make their mistake, and then we'll pounce on it. As opposed to now, yes, we were dominating possessions with those teams in those past years, but it was still within the counterattacking mind frame. As opposed to now, since we're now in that transition from going from counterattacking to more possession based, I think that now we will start to have more and more success against teams that do the low block, no matter if it's only a 1-0.
yeah,
For
but you need a finisher when you're playing possession-based football. You need serious finishes. You need people with good touch. You need aerial threat, and you need a clinical striker up
yeah,
front.
yeah. So okay, so and that's the thing, and those are the pieces that we're missing right now due to circumstances. Obviously, we know who our number 9 is, who can do everything for us. Bruno, you just touched on it. He's a little bit labored. I see a player in there. Yes, he didn't make mistakes that we're accustomed to seeing yesterday, but he's not creating as much of a spark plug as we're all accustomed to due to the fact that he's played a numerous amount of games for both club and country. So I
Hmm.
do think that we are starting to the dominance that we're having on low block teams is more apparent than it's ever been before due to the possession style base of football. And I'm telling you right now, guys, the goals will come once our little funk and final third decision making leaves us. We've done it before with under Ollie and Jose. I have no doubt that we can do it with under Ten Hag.
Hmm.
Hallelujah.
Okay. Okay. Right. So listen. Overall, I don't really know what else to say other than did a poll, and people on the poll are saying they are very confident that we can beat Spurs. 62% of people say we can beat Spurs. 24% of people think it's going to be a draw. 13% think it might be a loss for us. If you ask me, I do not think we are capable of winning that game. I am very, 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 very scared of Heung-min Son right now. He's almost like playing with a vengeance. The guy came off the bench and banged a hat trick, and yeah, Salah did the same, but Salah did that against Rangers, with all due respect. But Heung-min Son is a different caliber of player, and you guys know how much I rate Heung-min Son. I actually think he's one of the greatest. Not a hat. Was it a hat trick or a thingy? I think he scored a hat trick
It
against
was a
Leicester.
hat trick. It was a
Yes,
hat
it
And
trick.
was
then he
against
scored a
Leicester.
brace. Was it a brace against Frankfurt? He
I
scored a
think
brace.
He
so.
came off the
Yeah.
bench.
He has scored a really good volley.
Man, see what I mean? He's gonna be feeling in the mood, and if we let him even get comfortable in the game, it's a long day for us. Seriously, long day. And yes, Harry Kane is there. Marcel's favorite player. I don't think Harry Kane could be that much of a threat, but you never know with this guy. He's like one of those players. He can tap the ball in at any time. He can get a penalty at any time. He's decent in the air. He's decent at his free kicks, but it's Heung-min Son who can really make something happen. There's obviously
Faz, isn't
Richarlison as well on top
Richarlison
of that.
and Kuleveski, both of them injured?
Richarlison
Right,
is
so
injured and
that's what I was going
Kulu
to
is a
come up
doubt.
to. Richarlison is going to be injured, and what about Kulusevski's out of the game as well? Is he going to be out of the game?
I think it's a doubt. I don't think he might be back. So we're not totally sure yet. But
Well, as
Interesting.
I'm looking at the squad now, Kulusevski and Richarlison are both injured, both currently listed as injured. So by the looks of it, I don't know if they're going to be cleared by Wednesday. On top of that, if I go and look at Martial as well, he's currently injured as well. So I don't think Martial might be ready. Ten Hag likes to do this. He'll say, yeah, he might be ready. Yeah, we'll see. We'll assess. He doesn't say much. He won't give you much until boom, all of a sudden he'll just come out with, yeah, Martial's ready. Here you go, Martial. And we'll see. But hoping that if Martial plays, he can continue to do this YouTube compilation that he's making this season, and do his bit. That's all I can say. That's why I put a tweet out saying, hoping Martial can miraculously be fit enough to give us 30 minutes and get his Martial FC Clan
His
GA
standard
for his
double.
YouTube compilation. So yeah, I hope so. But if Martial doesn't play like this, I don't know what we can do, because Tottenham are a very dangerous team. Very,
Well-
very dangerous team. They score goals. They know how to go and get and win games. Look, against Frankfurt, they had a 3-2. Brighton, they got a 1-0. They had, obviously they lost against Arsenal really bad, but before then they had a 6-2 against Leicester. They know how to score goals when they're in the mood. So we'll see. But I'll do a preview of the game, obviously, in a few days, not just yet. It's on Wednesday. But big up to all the members for joining. Big up to you, Karis, Yuma, Ganso, Ronald, Woodward, and all the other members in the chat as well. Appreciate you guys all. Will be on United View, the full view, in a few minutes. It's in a half an hour's time, so make sure you go and catch me on that. But yeah, if you're here, drop a like on the video if you already haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. If you're enjoying the streams, I'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow. See what we can talk about. What's going on in the news? Yes, there's a lot of Mason Greenwood news currently at the moment. No, I'm not going to be covering it. My stance
I just want to talk about one thing, Faz.
Sure, go on.
And Yuma, you as well, Ganza, you as well, everyone on the panel, Woodward, and Karis. What do you guys think about the officiating that was done yesterday in the game? Like how the referees were?
Oof.
I'm still hearing pundits saying that it was fairly done. I've heard that statement, but I'm not sure, because for me, we had 2 penalties and 1 goal that was taken away from us, and oh my god, it irritated me. The 6-minute pause. Every 6 minute, one of these Newcastle players was just going down for fun.
They were made out of chocolate today, and I did make a comment about it. I don't know why. Dan Burns, you about 10 feet 5, bro. If you don't stop acting like you hurt, you too damn. Land of the Giants setting. You are too big to be acting like you hurt. Stop it, okay? Stop.
These refs are shocking.
They're
You
terrible.
honestly, I have no words for yesterday's refereeing. Where was VAR? Where was VAR when you need it?
Bro, they
Where?
checked the Sancho goal on VAR. They did
I
check
do
it
not
and said no,
understand.
it's not a penalty.
Manchester United. If this was Man City, if this was Liverpool, by the way, if this was Conte, I am telling you, they would launch an official statement against the ref. They would have launched an official statement against the Premier League or the FA Refs Association, and they would have had some conversation. I need Ten Hag to be a lot. I think Ten Hag doesn't understand this. This is Premier League, baby. You're gonna get refs like this who rob you of games. The ref robbed us of penalties. The ref robbed us. And guess what? They want soft challenges. They want like 50-50. They were clear challenges. The clear. He blew the whistle and the player tapped the ball. I do not understand. It's not like the player picked up the ball with his hand and gave it to his colleague, or the player moved on, or the ref said, "Oh, take the ball a bit backwards." Like when players push the ball forward. He said,
Yeah.
"None of that. None of that." The ref blatantly did that. Craig Paulson, you have blood on your hands. Serious, serious blood on your hands. And I tell you what, because we drew that game, and because Ten Hag is a gentleman, he didn't comment on the referee. Fan base are not kicking off. But Fergie, he would absolutely rinse this ref. And I'm disappointed on Ten Hag in that manner, to be honest. I am.
And in the last game yesterday, we have 3 yellow cards. Casemiro booked, Fernandes booked, Ronaldo booked. Newcastle, on the other hand, out of all of this massacre, all of this drama, 1 yellow card, and that's just to burn. No one got yellow cards from their team.
And guys, we have to start paying attention to these yellows because I'm putting McTominay into where Fred was yesterday. We win this game. You see what yellows have cost us? You see what
No,
yellows?
bro. Yuma, I'll be honest. If we had McTominay yesterday, he would be out on a red card.
Oh,
The way the officiating was being done yesterday, he would have given him a red card.
no.
But then
Because
again, there is a conversation that Varane nearly gave away a penalty, just about nearly. So
Yep.
you could argue that as well. VAR could have had a look at that. You could say Casemiro with 2 straight back-to-back challenges, the second one being very solid, and the ref being okay, yellow carding for that. Bruno, I think Bruno got a yellow card as well. Dallo got a yellow card was it Dallo that got a yellow card as well?
No, it
Don't know
was
why Dallo got a
Casemiro,
yellow card.
Ronaldo, and Fernandes. Dallo did
I
not get
don't
a
know
yellow card
why
yesterday.
Dallo got a yellow card. I don't understand some of the yellow cards that the ref was giving out. It didn't at all make sense to me. At all. I don't know on what planet the ref decided that it made sense to give Bruno Fernandes a yellow card for tripping. I don't understand. It doesn't miss. And he also gave Ronaldo a yellow card for
For the goal.
unsportsmanlike conduct, which again does not make sense at all. I don't get it.
From tripping, I remember Trippier. Did you see that foul on Ronaldo, which was supposedly a penalty and was never given?
There you go.
He
There you
stepped
go.
right on his foot. Straight
Yeah,
on his
and
foot,
he
bro.
took him out. And he took him out. He went to clear the ball when the ball is already somewhere else, and he went to kick the ball. He literally kicked the air, took the player out, and it's not a penalty. So it's really, really bad officiating. Really bad.
last point to what you said about Fergie and Ten Hag. I think that Ten Hag, you have said this eloquently numerous of times on here that he is a very intelligent person, a man. He knows what he's coming into.
Yep.
And I think he purposely and consciously decided not to make a big deal out of it because he knows that the English media would then swarm in quickly. As opposed to Fergie already had cachet. Fergie already.
Oh, you must dropped out. I think
Oh,
his
we
internet
lost him.
dropped out. The Newcastle ref is here, kicked him out the stream, man. But yeah, listen, let me wrap up anyways. I want to keep it under an hour. Big up to everybody for joining. Big up to Woodward. Thank you very much. Big up to Ronald as well, supporting the channel and big part of the community. Thank you very much. And obviously Ganso as well. Big up to you guys for joining. But But yeah, listen, support the channel as you all have been doing. Back with another stream tomorrow. I will get the FIFA streams back on as well soon. But yeah, big up to everyone. Peace, love, and guidance. Catch me on United Views, full view shortly. But other than that,